Hey, it's Father Time. I'm like beyond excited here. I am in an MD-83 in American Airlines livery. I'm an American Airlines pilot. 36 years I was with American Airlines. This is my first captain airplane. Never flew it as an FO, but I flew it as a captain. And I was actually a check airman in this for a couple of years also. I have 2,000 hours in it. I went on from this to the 7675, then the back to the 7.3 for a couple of years, then on to the 777, where I retired back in September. I flew the MD-11 and I flew the A300 and the 7.2 as an engineer, A300-600. So if you don't know who I am, please subscribe and go to our Discord and get involved with us. As of this morning, I think we have 1,520 subscribers, growing quickly. I'm involved with the TFDI MD-11. I'm a quality assurance pilot over there. Been very busy, kind of cut back on the videos. I don't like to get too many airplanes going at once. My 65-year-old mind can't handle that very well. Today is January 11th, 2024. I downloaded this yesterday. I ordered the study guide from my old study guide from American Airlines, a guy named Rick Townsend. That's coming on its way. I have not even started this thing, not even looked around it, but I wanted to just introduce myself, introduce the fact that I'm going to do a series of videos on getting oriented. This is out of the box, and I've been watching some videos online, and let me show you just a few things that I learned. First of all, when you download this, you're going to be looking for a thing called Load Manager. It's in an icon off to the left. Looks something like this. Let me show it to you. When you click on it, you pop on here. So it's a load manager. It's a special icon on the desk. So it's not on the aircraft. It's nowhere. No one seemed to explain that. And within here, you set up the everything. There's guys who explain this video. This airplane's been out a while. If you want to screenshot that, this is what I've come down as my universally what's accepted on this thing. So the better guys seem to know that. This is also, you can screenshot that for settings. That seems to be what they want to do. That's it. I'll go back. Today I'm flying the MD thing. I don't have any liveries uploaded yet at all. If you did, you drag them over here. Still have to figure out how to do that. Also, with this airplane comes everything you could ever imagine. I think this is going to be, based on what I've heard, the closest thing to a study level airplane. What is a study level airplane? That's an airplane that if you are a pilot on this airplane, you could use it to prepare for recurrent training, and it would really help you. PMDG 777 was like that. This, I think, is going to be that kind of airplane. But when you download, also off there, you get another icon that says manuals, and with the manuals, you're not going to believe this. Look at this. You get these are takeoff data, normal checklists. You can print these out, by the way. Operating manual, volume 1 and 2. Landing speeds. EFB manual. Cold weather ops manual. Fly the MagDog quick reference guide. And a user manual. When you go in, also, there's the volume 1 with all the different systems. In volume 2, how to operate it, checklists, everything. I mean, guys, if you can't appreciate this, are you kidding me? It's unbelievable. So anyway, let me get us started here. I'll boot it up, and here we are in the airplane. Let me go outside. I'm really excited. I haven't done anything with this. Just wanted to introduce myself, as I mentioned. Here we are in the American Airlines livery. We had MD-82s and MD-83s. This airplane, I think, first rolled out in 1982. American ended up with 350. We did an exclusive deal with McDonnell Douglas. Same thing we did with Boeing later on, as we got rid of these. But 1982, I came on in 1987. I remember getting going into the hangar to do a walk around on a 727 in Dallas, and I saw one of these airplanes just coming in from the factory at Long Beach. It was shiny, sitting there, and I thought, wow. But I was based in New York, and they didn't have them there. until 1997 or so, 1998 when I upgraded to captain. So I took the upgrade and I started flying these. It's a lot of airplane, guys. I don't know what the sim's going to be like, but if you look in the cockpit, it's one heck of a lot of airplane. It's fully GSX capable. If you have GSX, you know, you can go in and take a look around. Yep, pretty good detail in the cabin, right? It's got a five across, two on the left, three on the right. You definitely would want to be on the left with your significant other. And then this cockpit. I mean, hello. Hi, I'm sorry I'm doing a little video. You can pick whether you have these guys in, both of them, or one. So I'm going to keep a co-pilot. I'll change them around. Uh, anyway, this is a cockpit. Sometimes it comes in this aqua blue. We actually had a few like that, I think, that we got from either Reno or TWA with a little bit of blue in it. But we had ours mostly in brown. Pretty sophisticated. Of course, we didn't have the EFB in there. You have the option of taking that out, which we'll go over later. Look at that overhead, guys. It's a lot. I've been checking out on the MD-11, so this dial flap right there is pretty common. But I'm going to do a series of videos as I learn it. You can go for the ride with me. I'm going to have to methodically go through the checklist. I'm not going to take you through that checklist until I practice it a few times. I'll do the origination, pre-flight, start, taxi, takeoff, departure, arrivals. I'll do a little bit of systems work, but mostly from an operational standpoint. I will be studying this airplane. I'm involved with the PMDG 777, although they haven't used me yet, as a flight tester as well. TFDI MD-11, which is going to be a fantastic airplane. Those guys are doing a great job over there. It's taken a long time because they're doing it simultaneously with the P3D platform, but it's going to be a great airplane. But anyway, this is it. Wanted to introduce myself, and I will be coming back on. This will be number one. We'll call it, let me see, Story Time with Father Time. Story Time with Father Time. And learning the Mad Dog MD-80 from a real MD-80 pilot. Albeit, last time I flew was 2001. I was a Check Airman on this, and I'll tell you my story, because that's what we do as we learn. As mentioned, we had 350 of these. I was doing a check ride on a guy from Dallas, New York LaGuardia to Dallas Fort Worth on 9/11. No, September 10th, day before 9/11, 2001. Of course, we all know what happened the next morning. It was a beautiful day. It was just a gorgeous day. And we took off, and I told the guy, man, he was out of the Marines, and I said, he was a Harrier pilot. I said, you are not going to get a clearer day than this in New York. What a beautiful day. That's why every time I see those 9/11 videos, it brings me back. So we next morning, we passed him. He went home. I was going to deadhead home to New York. Got on the airplane to 757. They shut down between the runways. Captain came on and said, ladies and gentlemen, I have some absolutely terrible news to tell you. And I thought, this guy is so dramatic. What's he going to tell us? ATC is out. We got a 4-hour delay, or the airplane's broken, or his cat died or something. But he came on and he said, approximately 20 minutes ago, and he went on to explain that an aircraft had hit the North Tower. Of course, by the time he finished the PA, the South Tower had been hit, and the rest is history. But I was sitting in coach, so I got out of the seat, and I walked up to the cockpit like I always did. I wasn't thinking. I was in uniform, and I used my key. Back in those days, that's what we did before 9/11. Opened the door, walked in. These guys turned around and looked at me like I was, you know what. And he said, shut the door, come in, shut the door. And he said, do you know what's happening? And he said, no, we're not allowed to have anyone in the cockpit. The cockpits are under assault. And so we stood, I spent about 5 days in Dallas, Fort Worth, couldn't get home. Eventually they assigned me to fly the first flight into LaGuardia out of Dallas, revenue passenger flight. We came up the Hudson, going to runway 22, and right by the smoking towers, and you could have heard a pin drop in the cabin, the flight attendant said, and they deplaned ever so quietly. Anyway, we're going to do a lot of this stuff, guys. Everyone has a 9/11 story. That's mine. Oh, by the way, when I was in the back, I was sitting there, a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. before that she got on you sit there. I'm a pretty big guy. I'm 200 pounds, 6 foot, and I don't like to sit near another big guy. So you're always sitting there. They're coming down the aisle. Go, oh, please don't let that guy sit near me, and everything. But here comes this beautiful woman, and they never sit near you, right? And she comes and she sits near me. I'm like, oh, thank you, Jesus. And when she sits down, I have like 4 newspapers from the hotel, because that's what pilots do, right? We don't buy newspapers, we steal them. And now we don't bother because we have our tablets. But she sat down. I said, feel free to use these. And she started telling me a story. She's going to visit her fiance in New York. And she was Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. It turned out I was in London when the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders were staying at our hotel for a London game. And met her. She was a twin, had her sister. But anyway, that's my 9/11 stuff, guys. That's a story. This type of stuff we're going to do. That's just a little bit of an orientation, a little bit of what you can expect when you download it. I'm going to give you a great review of this airplane, I promise you. 2,000 hours in this airplane, 21,000 overall. I was an instructor on this airplane. It's extremely reliable airframe. But it was primitive. It got run out by the more fuel-efficient airplanes. It also had sound problems because the J8s on it. It was just too loud, and airports started having restrictions. But man, I think the MD-90, when that came out, Reno had them. They had the big turbofans. They were a lot quieter. But by then, the airplane was being replaced by the 737 and the Airbus A320s. I'll be back. This is Father Time. Don't forget to subscribe. This is number 1 in a series of videos. That's your initial orientation. Thanks for joining us.